Our next speaker is someone much more familiar to the gun rights community. He's been working for over 15 years as I think one of the most important and educated, articulate voices when it comes to gun rights and gun news. You know him from Cam & Company, now from Bearing Arms, Cam Edwards.
Thank you all. It is great to see you out here. I really appreciate it. You know, as I was walking in from Union Station, I was seeing a lot of the Nats fans, and they were holding signs that said, "Fight finished." And I thought to myself, damn, that must be nice. Because our fight is not finished. I don't know what your plans are for Sunday. I'll be going home tonight. I live in Virginia. Tomorrow I will be campaigning and volunteering to help ensure that we don't lose our Second Amendment majority in the state legislature, or else next week New Jersey and Virginia are going to have a lot more in common than being located on the East Coast. The fights that we face right now are so real, but the broad support that our right to keep and bear arms enjoys is real as well. Just look around you. When you talk to the people who are next to you, how many of them are from a different state? I've talked with folks from Hawaii, New Hampshire represent, live free or die state, California, Washington state. It is amazing to see people from all around the country here, and you all are the leaders in your communities. You are the voices that have to go back and have to help spread the word about what's going on right now, because the fights that we're facing, look, Beto O'Rourke's gone, he's dropped out of the campaign. That's great. Bye-bye, Beto. Here's the thing. Is there any candidate right now running as a Democrat for president in 2020 that you look at their gun platform and you say, yeah, that's good, I like that? No! They're all just as bad as Beto. And unfortunately, we know that this is a nonpartisan issue. There are Republicans that are just as bad as Beto as well. There are Democrats that agree with me, a conservative, on the Second Amendment. And I love it when I see that. Because the right to keep and bear arms is not a right of middle-aged white guys with potbellies and beards. It is a right of all Americans. There's a saying that I like to use when I talk about and report on armed citizen stories, and I'd love to hear what it sounds like when thousands of people chant it. So if you would help me out here, I'm going to say self-defense. Would you say it's a human right? Self-defense. It's a human right. God, that sounds good. Self-defense. It's a human right. Self-defense. It's a human right. It is a human right. It is a right of the right. It is a right of the left. It is a right of the muddled middle. It is a right of the white. It is a right of the minorities. It is a right of all human beings to protect and defend themselves. And the people who put this framework of government together more than 200 years ago, they knew that the right to keep and bear arms was the most fundamental, important way to protect that right of self-defense. We have too many people right now who, as Dan said, want to take guns away under the guise of public safety. We have other Americans who do mean well. They really don't want to take everybody's guns away. But the result would be a massive disarmament of legal, law-abiding American gun owners. Those are the folks that we have to try to reach out to. And sometimes the arguments that we like to make shall not be infringed. It doesn't matter to them. Some of those folks might not see the Constitution as anything other than an old piece of paper that's tucked away in a building down the block. So how do we reach those folks? I think we can reach them on their level. Talking about the Democrats running for president. Every single one of them is running as a criminal justice reform champion. That's great. That's fantastic. But you can't call yourself a criminal justice reform champion if you want to imprison millions of people who are currently exercising a constitutional right. We need to ensure that the media calls these candidates out. We need to ensure that tough questions get asked. And we're going to have to work hard because the media wants to cover for a lot of these candidates. But here's the thing. Despite the fight that we're in, despite the billions of dollars available to gun control groups, we are still achieving victories around the country. Yesterday, November the 1st, state I lived in for 25 years, Oklahoma became the 16th constitutional carry state in the United States of America. There are now twice as many states that say, you're a legal gun owner? You don't need a permission slip from the government to bear arms. You don't have a permission slip from the government to keep arms. Twice as many states that recognize your right to carry without a permit as restrictive issue states like New Jersey or Maryland, California, New York. The right to carry revolution is continuing, and we are winning. Do you realize not one state in the union has ever repealed a shall issue right to carry law? Not one state has ever gone back and said, boy, constitutional carry was a mistake.
What state's the closest state for either?
Closest state with right to carry? With constitutional carry? Now you're going to put my geography to work here. Let's see, that'd be New Hampshire and Vermont? West Virginia, thank you very much. See, I can't even keep track of it. That's how much winning we're doing at the state level. But again, this doesn't happen magically. It's not like the Second Amendment fairy suddenly appears at state capitals and, bounces her wand off of lawmakers' heads and all of a sudden we get constitutional carry. It's because of people like us doing that hard work, talking to lawmakers, the boring stuff, not even the hard work, just the boring stuff, taking time off of work to go to the Capitol, going to city council meetings, going to county commissioner meetings. The other side is doing that work, I can tell you, each and every day. We need to be doing that work as well, and when we do, again, we win. So we can disagree, as Rob said, on some of the specific issues. I've had conversations about red flag laws. I don't like them, but I've had conversations with people who I know are Second Amendment supporters who say, well, let's talk about this. I may agree with them 90% of the time. And you know what? I'll work with them 90% of the time to advance our common goals and our common interests. We cannot be divided. If we do not, where's that join or die sign I saw flying earlier? If we do not join together despite some of our minor differences, our rights will die. And I don't know about you, but I don't want it to happen on our watch. So thank you for being here. Thank you for standing up for the right to keep and bear arms. Go back home, take what you feel right now with you, energize your communities, and let's be back bigger than ever before long. Thank you all so much.